Hello and welcome to the 741 channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about public service within ham radio. So in particular, I want to talk a little bit about the Manchester, Connecticut road race that's held every Thanksgiving morning. It's actually been a tradition here in Connecticut for over 80 years now. One of the clubs that I belong to, the Bears Ham Radio Club of Manchester, Connecticut, always helps out with the Manchester road race. They reached out to some of the newer members like myself and asked if we could help out with the road race this year. So like I said, this was my first time, and I was totally impressed with how well this thing went off and how well prepared everybody was, especially within the Bears Club. So I thought I would take a few minutes and talk about that here today. So first, let me give you guys a little bit of background about the Manchester road race itself. And for that, let's head over to the computer and take a look at the website for the event. So here's a look at the Manchester Road Race website. I'll leave a link to this in the description in case you want to poke around on here. So since we're looking at this a few days after the race was over, all the race results are here for us to look at and even information about next year's race. So you can see up here, this happened to be the 85th running of the race, and the course is 4.748 miles. If I scroll down, you can see the two race winners here. Now if we click over here, we can take a quick look at the course. The start-finish line is here on Main Street in Manchester, Connecticut. The runners head south in a counterclockwise direction, take a turn here at this intersection. Now mile 1, where I was posted, was located right about here. The runners continue along here, and it's pretty much all uphill from mile 1 to this point here, which is called Top of the Hill. This happens to be where the famous Highland Park Market is located, and a lot of spectators like to gather here and watch sort of the mini race of who can make it up to the top of the hill first. This is also roughly the halfway point of the race. Runners then continue on through here, through Manchester, and then back down to the start-finish line. You can see here Google would expect that an average walker would take 1 hour and 34 minutes to complete this loop. And then over here, you could see the elevation plot from Google. So just to show how integrated my radio club is with this event, if I go to the About Race page and choose the MRR committee page, as I scroll down through the list of names of all the people on the various committees, I see some names that are familiar to me from the radio club scattered throughout this list. And in fact, even down here at the bottom under the general committee, you can see the radio club has its name. So the point here is that the race committee and the radio club work closely together to develop and execute the communication plan for the race. So now let's talk a little bit about how the Ham Radio Club ties into this event and how hams like you and I can help participate in an event like this. So over the years, the Bears Club has developed a pretty extensive communication plan in conjunction with the race coordinators. And now that they've been doing it for 20 years, it's pretty well vetted and works pretty smoothly. So I'm not going to go through the whole plan in detail because some of it is what I'll call somewhat proprietary. Now, we don't want the whole communications plan, including all the frequencies that we use, to be given out to the general public in case there's some bad actors out there that want to mess with the communications or would somehow use the communication plan to disrupt the race in some way. But I will give you some highlights in how we as volunteers execute this communications plan. So the communication plan calls for hams to be stationed at various points around the course. Now, depending on where a ham is on the course, their responsibilities and duties will vary a little bit. Now, for instance, I was stationed at milepost 1, and at all of the even increment mileposts, there is a digital clock set up on a pole so that the runners know how much time has elapsed for each mile that they've run. And that's our job to get that clock started and synchronized with the master clock when the race starts. Now, it doesn't have to be accurate to the millisecond, but close enough so that the runners have a pretty good idea of where they are within the race and know how they're doing. One of the other duties that I needed to do at my milepost was to keep an eye on the lead runners and report in the first 3 male runners that came across the milepost. And then that information is relayed to the race coordinators and actually broadcast to the loudspeakers at the start-finish line so that the crowd kind of watching the race from up there, can keep tabs on who's in the lead real time. Now, hams positioned along other places on the route were responsible for other things. So for example, I think the people stationed at every half-mile increment were responsible for reporting in the 3 leading female runners. And then there's other positions where hams are stationed at strategic intersections where if part of the course needed to be closed for some reason due to an emergency, those hams could help coordinate and get the runners on that alternate course if need be, and then communicate back with the central committee at the start-finish line. Now, another duty that we have is what's called a shadow. And in those cases, we've got hams that are shadowing or following around some of the race officials and helping to communicate between the race officials and some of the EMS services that are in the area. And on top of that, there's also some shuttle bus transportation available to bring runners and I think some spectators in from a local community college a few miles away where there's ample parking. Downtown Manchester, as you can imagine, doesn't have a ton of parking, and it fills up pretty early and pretty quick. So the club has hams stationed with some of the bus drivers to help coordinate and communicate the transportation in case there's any problems or route diversions or things like that. So in addition to any of the duties and responsibilities that we have as part of our normal volunteer position within the race, every ham is also tasked with reporting any emergencies if needed. And there's protocols for that as well. So for instance, if I saw a runner fall down at my milepost, I would immediately switch over to our emergency channel and alert somebody to that fact so that EMS services can be dispatched quickly to help that runner in need. And of course, the emergency responsibility duty supersedes any other duty and takes precedence at that point because we want to make sure that all the runners are safe and accounted for. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, this was my first year. So I did bring my GoPro along to record some of the stuff that my mentor was teaching me so that next Thanksgiving I won't forget in case I'm assigned somewhere by myself. Now, my GoPro footage didn't come out very good. The settings on the camera weren't quite right. But I figured I'd share it in this video anyway so that you guys can kind of see what's happening and get a feel for how the day went. Office N1 NUG, November 1, November Uniform Golf.
N1, November 1, November Uniform Golf. This is office. Good morning, Rob. I show you in at 8 o'clock. Your destination, over.
Good morning. Destination is milepost 1.
Roger, be advised that base is not opened up yet. Base is not opened up yet. It should be opened up by 8:30. Remain on this frequency until that time, over.
Okay, will do. N1 NUG, standing by.
Roger.
As I said, I'm a little early, but I wanted to get here so that I had a parking spot and to make sure that I didn't get stuck in any traffic. I wasn't sure when they were going to close the road. So in the next few clips, you guys are going to meet Kenny, KC1INA, who was my mentor for the event. Now, Kenny's been stationed at milepost 1 for the last several years, so he definitely knew the ropes and did a good job at teaching me what to do. Now, I don't know what the volunteer situation will be like next year, but hopefully I'll be able to team up with Kenny again next year. And since I'll know the ropes, maybe I'll be able to help out a little more than I did this year.
Base 1, this is mile 1.
Roger, mile 1. Audio's a little low. I wanted to be closer to your mic, possible. How do you copy me?
How's this, Base 1?
That's better. Good signal. You're full scale with me. Thank you much. W1 VRS, Base 1.
So you type in 15. They said the thing's always preset, but it's not. All right?
Yep.
Then they're going to do a count up. They count up. 1, 2, 3. And then when I hear them 15, once I got the beat 15, then I just hit this button here. Let me show you. It's this one, count up. See?
Yep.
That's count down, this is count up. So he'll go 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then it should just go 17, 8. And then what they'll do is they'll call back and they'll say, are you okay? Because sometimes people don't get it.
Yep.
Right? You don't want to be off by 5 seconds because you got serious runners.
Yeah, right.
So you're within us, and generally I'm right. I'm spot on. I'm generally spot on.
Yep,
That's why Bruce always has me to the top.
That's good.
Right? He generally does that. I'm spot on. So,
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to clear it. I'm going to set it to 15. And then I'm just going to wait.
Leave it there for now. So as you can see, we're in charge of the clock. Kenny's teaching me the ropes here. So we're all set up and ready to go here at mile 1. We got the flag up finally. The clock is ready to go. And in about 15 minutes, we're going to synchronize the clock with all the other clocks on the course.
You are awesome. You're awesome, awesome, awesome.
I try.
He does
Every year.
Safety man.
They got all kinds of characters.
I'm in first.
You got it. That's why they put me with you.
I didn't know all this until listen. I came out here with a borrowed radio my first time out.
All clock, 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
You're off by a second, Mr.
He missed a number.
I think he did.
He
I
missed
think he
it.
did.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
he did. I think he missed the number. Something told me something.
Mile 1, how's your clock? This is mile 1, clock is.
It's on time.
Mile 2, how is your clock?
He did miss the number.
He missed the number.
37-38.
Mile 3, how is your clock?
We're good.
3, clock is set. 56, 57.
Yeah, we're
We're
right.
good,
I know
we're
he's
good,
wrong.
we're
He's
good.
wrong. I'm about to say I've never been off.
So how long does it take for him to get here?
Oh, you'll see.
Oh, here they come.
See, the truck gonna be in the way. Damn it.
Truck's
Damn.
going to be in the way. I think we can get it.
Come on. Get out.
Got it. 21, 21, and 7.
And 7. Number 6, number 21, number 7.
It's only been a mile.
All right, so here goes the craziness.
Yeah.
Here we go. I told you. These are still the serious ones. Wait till the crazy stuff. They'll be all over the lawn. See? Here we go.
Yep.
These are still the serious ones.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know about this guy.
He's keeping up.
I guess so.
These people are looking at the clock. Their own personal
Oh, yeah.
reason.
At number 6, 21, or 2-1, 1-2.
You see how they come
Yeah, I
out?
see what you're
What I
saying.
do is I try to keep them out
Yeah.
from running into the clock.
Yeah,
Because
right.
I told them to hit the pole.
Thank you.
First go runner, 2-6,
6 is still up.
5907.
2-6.
Top of hill. Female, 5-7-9-3-3. Mile 2 with the leaders. The male leader is number 12. Second is 26-26. Third is 2-1. So leader 1-2. Second 2-6.
Oh, 6
and the
dropped
third
out.
is 2-1 at mile 2.
2-1 was still there. But
Yep.
6 dropped out.
We're done, guys. We're done. Right here. That's
You
it.
made
Head
it.
back.
You made it.
Imagine running with a chicken on it.
Yeah, right.
See,
Oh, here they come. Yeah. I can see it
What I
now.
do is I try to ward it off. See? I try to warn them off. Because I don't want them to run into the clock.
Yeah.
Not me, the clock.
Big one, this is mile 2.5. The lead runners are 1, 2, 2, 6, 2, 1.
Told you.
1, 2, 6, 2, 1. Pretty much. Mile 3, you're going to be up next. W1 PRS.
Yeah! Thank you, Jared! Yeah! 14 minutes.
15 minutes, okay? Yeah, there you go.
Hello! Happy Thanksgiving!
You too.
Be the halfway point?
Yeah. As far as you know, wherever you want to make it. Wait.
This is the finish.
You guys won.
I'm mile 1.
First teams.
1 mile. We made it.
Let's go, baby!
Check out. For now, we're standing by.
Look at this outfit. Yeah, they're coming, that's it. So we gotta wait till the clock eyes come. We don't got it yet.
Yep.
They should be in this truck right here.
Okay. So after the last runners came through, the sweeper truck was right behind them to collect the clock and the flag, and we were dismissed. That was it. It's time to head home and have Thanksgiving dinner. But I was really blown away at how smoothly everything was handled and how well integrated ham radio is with this event. Thanks to the Bears Club and their participation for the last 20 some odd years. It was also really great to see ham radio out in the public and being used and shown off to provide communications for an event like this. You know, I don't know how many people out there realize that this was all amateur ham radio, or maybe they don't even really care. But either way, it was really cool to be part of this event where ham radio was used in such a positive way to kind of help the community. So I want to encourage you, if you're in a position where you can help out with an event like this with your ham radio club, definitely do it. It's not only rewarding for you personally, but it helps the whole hobby. It shows ham radio in a positive light, and it shows how your ham radio club can help your community, not only in emergency situations, but in large community events like the Manchester Road Race. If you want to learn more information about the Manchester Road Race or the Bears of Manchester Radio Club, I'm going to leave some links down in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.